Welcome to EZThesis.com. That's the letter EZThesis.com. I'm going to give a brief overview of how EZThesis works and how it can make your life much simpler. Research faster, write clear, finish sooner. I'm going to click on Try EZThesis for free, create an account, or sign in. In this case, I have a sign in, so I'm going to sign in into EZThesis. The first screen that it brings you to is all your classes. So this is a list of classes that I have used. Most of them have been completed. Actually, they're all completed right now, but they just haven't been marked as completed. This last one in progress, which is Dissertation Concept for Development for Practical Theology, B01. It says it's in progress, but it's actually completed. If I look here, it gives the date it was updated and the number of papers that are under this class, which are 2. I can edit this paper. The only thing that you need for a class is a class name and a class description. It's best to pull these right from your class management system, whatever you're using, Blackboard or Canvas, and pull it in here so you have the exact name of your class. If I'm going to create a new class, you have this graduation icon, and you can create a class. And here it is, just in your class name and description. Here I can open a class. Let's go back one step. I open a class, it opens my papers. These are the list of my 2 papers that I've had for the class. Now in this case, they're actually both the same paper. They're just segmented into two different focus areas, so I could focus on 2 different areas of the paper and break it down and make it a little bit easier to use. Same thing here. The class ID is already in there from the class. I can write the name of the paper and a paper description. With the paper airplane icon and create paper, I can create a paper. Let's go ahead and open a paper. This is the main screen that you see on EZThesis. This holds all of your digital note cards. This is a class that's already been created. And here we have the title of a note card. This is the section. If you see the section right here, these are the different sections that we're organizing this paper by. So the name of the note card, the section. This is the edit button to edit the note card. Here it gives a brief overview of some of the quotes in the note card and some of the notes in the note card. These plus or minuses can either increase or decrease how much text is seen in these note cards. Down below gives some important information. It gives the author. If I wanted to list specific pages this is being used, I can put that in the note card. It would show up here. This shows when it's been created. This is a hashtag. You can have as many hashtags as you'd like. These hashtags are searchable, so if you're trying to find something with a particular hashtag, you can find those notes easily again. Here's a star rating of how relevant I feel this article is to the topic that I'm working on. And this is the ID number for the note card. If you are working and you need to pull up a specific note card and you know the ID, you can put it in the search field here, type in the ID, and it'll pull up just that note card for you. This is your search area, so you can search by a selection, by a section. You can search the notes, the quotes, the tags, the author, pretty much anything that you see in the note card. If you need to find it, you can search here and it will filter the results of all these note cards down to whatever has the matching information. All this text is searchable, so you don't ever lose anything. If you have it in there, you can search for it and find it. If you didn't have any note cards and you're just starting out, it would show this instruction tab. It gives you instructions. It's important that step one is to create your sections for your paper first, which is right here, add sections. You can add a section name and then add that. If you already have a section, you can pick a parent and then select and then type in the name of the section and it will have a parent. You can have as many child-parent relationships as you'd like. You can create your sections as you create your digital note cards, but it's much easier to do it up front and to organize how you want to section off your paper. Step two is add sources. This is also optional at first. As you'll see in a minute, you can add your sources here to keep track of the authors that you're using for each of your digital note cards. It's important that each digital note card is assigned a source so you know where this information came from. But this is optional. You don't have to create this first. There's a place to create this later. You can create digital note cards next, which is right here, add note. And you can manually enter key ideas, quotes, page numbers, your own reflections, anything you want to add information about a source that you're working on. Maybe you're looking at a physical book and you want to put all these notes into the system. You can do that. That's one way to do it. This is option A. Option B is to use a AI summary, which is recommended. And you click on AI summary to upload a PDF source from your library database. Most library databases allow you to export your source as a PDF. What this will do, EZThesis will summarize the source, identify key arguments, and extract quotes with page numbers. You can also, after doing that, you can ask and dialogue with this source, ask custom questions to deepen the summary, to give more details about what you're researching based on what's in the source. This is not to hallucinate and pull from other areas. This is to pull directly from the source that you uploaded. And the last step, or step 4, is you can create an AI, after you create an AI summary, you can create a note card from the AI summary. So instead of creating a note card manually, you can use the summary to fill in a lot of the information from your note card. And step 5, the synthesis, we'll get back to that in a little bit. But let's go to AI summary. Well, first, let me show you just add note. This is all this information that can be added in to your note card. As you can see, it's blank and it's not pre-populated with information. But if we go back and we go to AI Summary, I have some sources right here that I uploaded. If I go to Create New Summary, it gives the option to choose a file, and I'm going to cancel. And you can upload a source. Once you upload it, it will show here. But right when you upload it, it will bring you to this screen. It'll show the name of the file content. Here, you'll put a paper title that you want to fill in. This will not be pre-populated. You put this in yourself. Here, you select the citation format that you want it to be in, APA, Chicago, MLA, or Turabian. This defaults to PDF. If you do have some text, you can summarize by text. It is not as helpful because it can't detect page numbers and it's much more difficult to identify information, but a PDF is a good document to use from your library to go ahead and pull specific information and summarize information. This information here comes from a summary from clicking the summarize PDF button. This would normally be blank. It starts off showing the selected citation format Turabian, and it gives me the citation and what a footnote would look like formatted in Turabian style. Then it gets into an outline of the notes. It gives a summary, key points, important quotes, and as you notice, it has the page numbers, page 1, page 2, an explanation in plain English, interpretation, and then it goes on to bullet point 2, or Roman numeral 2. And it cycles through your paper, giving all the main points with the quotes and the notes. And if I wanted to ask an additional question, if I want to say, can you expound on this a little bit further? What does this particular section mean? How does this support the research? You can click add additional question. It'll reload this page and append at the bottom. It'll say additional question, and it will answer those questions with another outline showing information from the PDF document supporting the question that you asked. Now I can go ahead here and put create note card. I already have one created, but I'm going to try creating another one. It fills out some of the information. I don't have the relevancy. I need to select a relevancy. Paper selection, I'm going to say the body. If you didn't create your sections ahead of time, you could hit manage sections and add your sections here. You'll need to refresh the list to see the sections. What this quote is about is the main title that you see in your digital note card. So whatever you want to put here to help you remember what this note card is about, put that sentence here. Now this is all static. You can try to edit this, but it won't save it. This is what was already put into the AI summary. Now down here, I can also type in manually quotes that I have in here, but easily put get main quotes. I click on that. You'll see a spinner, and then it will load some of the key quotes from the source. Same with the key points. Click the button for key points and it will load a summary of key points. There's a maximum of 3,500 characters for each. If you exceed that, it'll give you a warning. And as you can see, Ernest Van Eck is the author. I have these different sources already loaded in this paper. It automatically added, I could go here to add source, add the author title if I want in the citation. But when I did my AI summary, it automatically filled out this form. Put it in the database. And added it to the source. Now here I'm going into an actual note card. Went ahead and edited one. It already has the notes and everything filled out. It also has the source. If I want to put the pages, sometimes I put the pages in here. Sometimes you just leave it with the quotes have the certain page numbers and you don't need to add it in both places. But if you want it to show up on your digital note card in the bottom section to show what pages are being there, you can do that as well. Down here is tags. As you can see, these are the tags that are in the paper already. If I click this, scrupulosity, it'll add it to the tags that's in this particular note card. Right now, this says the word assurance as a hashtag. These tags that are in this section, like assurance, you can search for assurance in the search field, and it will search for any note card that has that hashtag in there. So you have hashtags, you have the content, any of this content is searchable. As well as the author, any of the AI summary, the ID number, the relevancy. You can choose how many relevant stars you want to see. So maybe you only want to see things that have at least 7 stars of relevance. You can choose that. Go back to our note cards. So we have the add sections, we have our sources, we can add our notes manually, or we can do the AI summary and create our note cards. Then the magic happens when you click synthesize. This one doesn't have one yet, so let's go outside here. Let's open this class. Open paper. You can list your research questions here and type them in. What is the background overview of both Buddhism and Christianity? In this next question here, I can hit synthesize. This will run for several minutes or so. It'll take a while. You can keep hitting refresh to see it. In the output, it will cycle through all your research, your note cards, and it will answer the question. What is the background overview of both Buddhism and Christianity? It'll give details about that, of how your sources support this question. It'll provide the record ID that you can search by, the author that was mentioned, the category that it was, the section that it was put under. It'll put the key arguments that it found in the notes. It'll give quotes with the page numbers. and it will give a high level overview of how that particular source supports it. Same here, record 1123 with this particular author, this section, key arguments. And it will do that, give all the relevant information. And it'll also have a section called overall evidence-based conclusion. This is the conclusions you can make based on the research for this question. And here's research question 2, and it repeats the same thing. It pulls in the note cards that support answering that question. So this basically gives you a roadmap of how to write your first draft. It outlines, it's basically almost like an outline of how to structure your paper based on the research questions, which are the main points in your outline for your paper. This is what I want to answer. You can go by source, add in information, quotes. You can search the digital note cards to pull in more information that's just in the summary, and you can begin to write your paper. The synthesis is magic. It helps organize your information. It doesn't write the information for you. It just synthesizes the information that's already there and tells you how each of these research components support each other. And that is how you synthesize. So what do we do next? The next is you start writing your paper. And after writing your paper, you realize you're going to need to proofread it. So if I click on the menu option, I have AI Proofreader. It gives you the option to open a file, upload your Word document that you've been using. And right here, I have a document that I uploaded. Here's the original document. This was 8 days ago. The status is complete. This usually takes several minutes. A job kicks off every minute to check to see if there's any documents that need to be reviewed. Once it finds one, it reviews the Word document, and you can download. This is a Word document of a paper. And as you can see, it highlights issues that with your paper with a comment off to the side of suggestions for changes. Here's more highlights. So you can see I have a lot of changes I need to make to my paper. And you can make these changes, and once you make a change, you can go ahead and delete the thread. Until your paper is ready to go to submit. So that is EZThesis in a summary. I hope this helps.